So what I wanted to go through here was a rundown of the largest silver mines or producers in the world, and I went ahead and got some of this information online. It looks like many of these mines produce silver as a byproduct of other mining activities. I think that's usually associated with tin, copper, lead, etc. So some of them for whom it's a primary mining endeavor for silver is listed as a P. I got the number of million ounces per year produced for the last 3 years. So 2023, 24, and 25, and just kind of what AI would show me as some of their like environmental or regulatory issues. So starting with the biggest mines would be this Fresnillo, and that I believe is in Mexico, and it is a company that you can invest in. It's public. So for 2025, we're not quite at the end of that this year. Anywhere from 50 to 54 million ounces will be produced, and so we go down and we see that this drops off pretty drastically. The second largest producer in the world is out of Poland, KGHM. Again, this is a primary and as a byproduct also, around 42 million ounces. So it looks like they're subject to certain EU emissions and tailings issues. Pan American Silver, which is in Peru, comes down at about 24 million ounces per year, and looks like they've had issues with probably permitting and some issues, domestically. Newmont Mining is on the NYSE. People can invest in that. Primarily, it looks like it's in Mexico. So now we're at 20 million ounces per year. Glencore, this also looks like it's in Peru at 18 million ounces a year. Hindustan, looks like that's in India at 17 million. So it looks like they're going down a little bit in terms of their production per year. And it looks like they also have certain restrictions and environmental things that they're subject to. Hecla is in the United States, Idaho. Looks like their permits are stable. I put a little RR next to here. I was interested to see which of these mines has Rick Rule been associated with, or what does he invest in? He's one of the major voices in silver mining, I would say. He's been a commentator for many years concerning silver mines and gold mines, etc. So I just put a RR next to the ones that I know that he was involved with investing in or speaking about. So now we get down to Peru. Well, it looks like it might be Mexico. Southern Copper. Okay, so as a byproduct, silver is produced 17 million ounces a year. Mag Silver looks like Mexico. Sometimes they have issues with their community relationships, but it's also right there. People can invest in that publicly. And another Mexican mine, First Majestic, primary silver mine at 12 million ounces a year. So we go down here, Canada. Looks like Coeur Mining is also available for investment. And the Lima, okay, with Buenaventura, and this mine would produce silver as a byproduct of other mining they do. Looks like they've had issues with water rights. Seems like water and environment issues, are probably uh, you know relevant to most of these mines. And again, this is the largest ones in the world. So a Chinese company, Zijin Mining, 14 million ounces a year. Australia, BHP at 12 million ounces a year. San Cristobal, Bolivia, yeah, they're listed as a large producer. Looks like they're, I don't know what do we mean by Lithium Conflux. Looks like this is primarily a silver mine at producing 13 million ounces a year. Volcancia Minera in Peru. Also, they've got, have had issues. Looks like seismic issues. And Silvercorp Metals. This is in China. Looks like. Okay, at 10 million ounces per year. So it's been increasing every year. Polymetal in Russia. And again, that's one that can be invested in. Looks like they've had some, these might be like EU or US sanctions. Not sure about all that. Next one, Endeavor Silver, also a public company, traded on the NYSE. And a lot of these Mexican ones are citing royalties because it looks like the Mexican government has increased the royalty amount on extracted and refined silver to, I think, 7.5%, and that is an increase. And so we got the Fortuna silver mine. Looks like that's in Peru. I don't know how Burkina Faso would factor into that. That would be in Africa. SSR mining in Turkey, and again at 8 million ounces per year. Avino in Mexico at, I think I lost the number there, probably about 6 or 7. I'll look that up. But Aya Gold in Morocco, looks like, perhaps 8 million. 8 million. I'm not sure if that sounds right. In any case, let's go on to Go Gold Resources, Mexico, 6 million ounces a year. Discovery Silver, Ecuador. Okay, looks like there's environmental issues and certain things, but it looks like it's in new development or resuming mining. Adriana Resources, Ecuador, and it looks like this is a new mine, so it's in development. No particular mining extraction documented yet. Outcrop Silver, Colombia. Okay, at up to 5 million ounces per year on the market. Vizsla Silver, that looks like Mexico. Also one that Rick Rule has been associated with. Gato Silver, Mexico. Mexico really, I'll show a summary here on how largely Mexico dominates the gold or silver mining. Sierra Madre, and this looks like a restart portion of another one, now at 8 million ounces a year. GR Silver Mining, I guess in development, but it's public. And BlackRock Silver, looks like that's in Nevada, and also public, so you can invest in that. Western Silver, again, this looks like a startup or in development. Looks like that one might be private, out of Texas. And it's a dormant restart of an existing mine. Argentum Silver, Mexico, getting their stuff up and going. Impact Silver, again, Mexico, 5 million ounces a year. Mexico Silver, and we're just going to run through some of these. Another Mexico one, Great Panther, Mexico, very small. Another Mexican one here at around 6 million ounces, and Defiant Silver. So I just kind of did a little investigation to see which ones can scale up fastest. It looks like that Sierra Madre mine is increasing their ability to mine silver. Looks like this GR Silver also is one of the ones that's shown as has the highest ability to ramp up production, as well as Hecla. That's in Idaho. We saw that one, and they've got ongoing expansion. That one is also known as the Lucky Friday mine. It's a deep earth mine. And it's been going on for decades, and I guess that's the way they call it, the Galena Complex. And then the Sierra Madre or Tepic in Mexico has a lot of near surface stuff. So I was looking into this for electronic vehicle increases in demand for batteries, and it looks like we're saying that Mexico has this really large, almost outsized role in production. So it looks like the top 20 mines produce about 80% of the top 40 total. So we're looking at up to 450 million ounces per year. A lot of those largest mines are stable or declining, and some of the what they call the juniors, number 21 through 40, are usually high potential, and they're ramping up. So the remaining 30% of supply comes from a whole bunch of other mines. And I thought I would do a breakdown on which countries are producing the most amount of silver. So I did the top 15 on this. So Mexico, as you can see, is producing about 205 million ounces a year, and that's about a quarter of global supply. And on the right hand, I put in what is their usage for industrial usage, not necessarily like jewelry or anything like that, but for production purposes. So you can see Mexico is producing over 200 million ounces per year, but they only use 20 million ounces in industrial usage. So I'm showing them as having a surplus of 185 million ounces a year. Now China is the next largest producer, producing 109 million, but their demand in 2025 was 280 million ounces, which represents 41.4% of global demand. So they have a structural deficit of amount of silver. They can't produce enough silver to meet their own, because they manufacture tons of stuff. Peru is virtually no actual usage, but they produce 13.2% of the world's silver supply. When you go down here into the single digits, you get to a few other countries in South America. Poland, that one mine that is second in size, because it's a highly fragmented production environment, but that one mine in Poland produces 5.1% and no appreciable global demand. It might be something nominal, but I only did this for the top 10 consumers of silver. Again, Russia is 40 million ounces a year, which is about 5% of global supply. The United States, back here at only 32 million ounces a year produced, but we're using 120 million ounces a year in industry, and that's 18% of global demand. So in the U.S., we're at a structural deficit where we have to import around 88 million ounces a year on the global market. Again, some of the smaller suppliers, Australia, Argentina, India. Now, India they produce 24 million, but they use 35 million, so they have to source $11 million, 11 million ounces a year, and so they're a net importer. And then we have these countries down at the bottom where they're in the top 10 consumers of silver, but they don't really produce any domestically. So Japan, needing 40 million, they represent about 6% of global demand. So they're importing about 39 million ounces a year. This is 2025. So some of these countries obviously are big manufacturers of things: Germany, South Korea, Taiwan, etc. So of the top 10 countries that represent demand, they demand 567 million ounces, which is 83% of global demand. So that's pretty telling that there's a pretty big imbalance here. Let's say Mexico and China and Peru. Mexico needing a lot more than it produces, even though it's Mexico producing 205 million, a quarter of the global supply, and having that to sell, that's really great for them. And China, needing it, they're only making 109, but they represent 41% of global demand, so they're a huge net importer, as well as the United States, but not nearly as much as China. So that's just kind of a rundown on where we're getting the silver from. All these mines, and it seems to be pretty heavily focused in the top 20. And even at that's 8 million. I would say the mines producing over 20 million is really just the top four. And this one in Mexico, the Fresnillo, is the largest producer in the world right now at 54, 42, 24. So yeah, it's like these top 3 or 4 are huge amounts of the global supply. So that's what I wanted to show.